In part one of this video, we looked at expanding brackets. What we dealt with was a range of situations where we were expanding different things, tackling indices, tackling fractions, decimals, and negatives. In part two, we're going to look at what happens when you get something like this. Expand and simplify. Okay, hopefully you've got some ideas. I'm going to give you one clue. And it's a clue I often give in algebra because it is the order of operations. So, we've got brackets, multiplication and addition. Well, I've got to expand these brackets first then, clearly. Which means I'm going to do the addition later. In fact, let's not draw that line, let's just draw a really firm line here. So, 3 lots of x and 3 lots of 4. Now, this plus is attached to the 2. We saw this before when doing simplifying, that the symbol in front of a number was attached to it. There isn't one here, because when a positive number is at the beginning, we don't need to. So, 2 times x gives me 2x, and again I have to include a plus. 2 times 6 gives me 12. Now put equals here because these two things are equivalent, and now we're going to simplify this. Well, 3x adds 2x is 5x. 12 add 12 is 24. What we've done so far then is we've looked at the basic principle, which is work out where to separate the brackets, work out how to expand each of those brackets, and then simplify afterwards. So separate the brackets, expand the brackets, and then simplify. So here we go. You can see here in example 2, I'm going to start introducing some negatives. We're confident of expanding brackets from part 1. We should be confident on simplifying if we're not go back to those videos. But it's things like negatives that are going to trip us up. So, separating the brackets. Remember to keep the plus attached to the 4. 5 times x, and then 5 times minus 2. Four times x, and then 4 times minus 3. To simplify, 5x add 4x is 9x. Then minus 10 minus 12 is minus 22. Now, if at this stage you're feeling unconfident with negative numbers, I strongly suggest you go and practice those separately. We will cover bits in this video, but it will not be sufficient just to watch these examples. Here's another. You can see now we've got a negative here, which is something new. Put the equal sign in place. 3 lots of x is 3x. 3 lots of minus 4 is minus 12. Minus 2 lots of x, minus 2x. Minus 2 lots of 5. Reminder, that you can always come to the side and step it out. Now to simplify, 3x minus 2x leaves just a single x. A reminder not to write 1 there, you don't need to. Minus 12 minus 10 is minus 22. We're going to continue looking at negatives as our key theme here, and we'll deal with indices afterwards. And this is the question that commonly gets people stuck. I want you to think about why that is. Now, our method helps to avoid the error people make. I'll show you how to do it, and then I'll tell you where the error is. So put your line in. Let's get ready to expand. 5 times 2x is 10x. 5 times minus 3 is minus 15. Minus 4 times 2x, so minus 4 times 2 is minus 8x. Minus 4 times minus 4, well, 4 times 4 is 16. 4 times minus 4 is minus 16. So minus 4 times minus 4 must go back to 16 plus 16. I'm going to underline that term really clearly because that is where people make the error. And I'll show you what they do now. People are very confident going this times this and this times this. But as people read across, if they don't have this line here, they do the following. They do minus 4 times this, and then they forget about this minus and just do 4 times this. Very common. So 10x take away 8x is 2x minus 15 plus 16. So you're on minus 15, going up the number line towards 0. You've got to go a little bit further and you end up on plus 1. So you can see now that negatives are a real thing to watch. Let's do one more and check some more things with this kind of situation. It really is a case of watching closely and making sure that nothing slips by you. It's very easy to have it happen. Here we have 3 terms. Same as before, we separate them. And we separate them making sure that the negatives and the positives here are attached to the brackets. Five times x, 5 times minus 4. Minus 2 times 4. Then minus 2 times minus 3. Four times 10. Then 4 times minus x. Now these two here are the two that people often get wrong, because they forget to put this minus when you multiply here, and they make a mistake here. Now let's simplify. 5 add 6 is 11, take away 4x is 7x. Minus 20, take away 8 is minus 28. Then you're going to add 40 to it. So you're starting on minus 28, going up to 0 and past it, you'll end up on plus 12. Now, we've covered negatives here in detail. In part 3 of expanding and factorising brackets, we're going to look at some indices and some fractions as well.